This video is made possible by DxO Photolab 9. More on that later in the video. Can a compact fixed lens camera really replace your portrait setup? Let's see what the Fujifilm X100VI can do. What's up guys, my name is Batistil and I've been shooting with this camera for a while now, mostly during my recent travels. I've mainly been using film simulations and shooting on JPEGs only, because honestly, that's the reason I bought this camera in the first place. I've wanted to simplify my editing workflow and eliminating most of the editing process. But during my recent trips, I've been wondering, can I use this camera for portraits? And if I shoot RAW and edit the files, will it still hold up? Is it good enough for professional work? Perfect timing because DxO reached out to me and provided me with a Photolab license so I could test out their software. For today's video, all the photos that you'll be seeing here are from the Fujifilm X100VI, and I'll be editing the RAWs on the DxO Photolab 9, and I'll be comparing the RAWs, the film simulations, and the one that has been edited by the DxO Photolab 9. I took the camera on a trip with my girlfriend and tested it both in indoor and outdoor for portraits. The results were surprisingly good. The 35mm focal length is close to the human eye's perspective. And while 35mm and 50mm are both great for portraits, 35mm gives you more of that environment context. Just be careful with exposure, since skin tones can easily be overexposed in bright light. The 40MP sensor performs really well for an APC camera. I'm not someone who likes cropping photos heavily. If I want close-up, I would rather move closer to the subject instead of zooming it in or cropping it in post. But for light cropping, the 40MP really helps with that. So there's a room for cropping it on post-production. So the 40MP resolution definitely helps. The IBIS is great. I shot everything on handheld, no tripod during the recent trip, and only few shots turned out to be blurry. And sometimes the blur ones are actually the ones that is more creative or intentional, or it could be like an aesthetic choice. It really depends on you as a photographer. Autofocus is a bit of subjective, but Fujifilm has improved over the years. But I know, it can still miss sometimes. During the trip, I got 8 out of 10 shots in focused. I usually take a couple of extra shots just to be safe. For the bokeh, I think it's alright. I wasn't really aiming for a bokeh on these shots. I wanted to show more of the environment instead of like having bokeh on this shot. If I would like to have bokeh, I would rather use my Sony for that one. During the trip, we also visited an exhibit which allowed me to test the low light performance on this camera. As a crop sensor camera, it's completely understandable that the camera has limitations when it comes to low light. So having a decent light source, or maybe you can just find a light source somewhere, can really help lit the subject. So let's talk about the Photolab 9, which is the editing software that I use to edit all the RAW files. In Photolab 9, the one that stood out to me was the DxO Deep Prime Noise Reduction, especially for indoor and low light shots. It keeps skin tones clean without that plasticky looking that you get from other softwares. I also appreciated the optical corrections. The DxO creates profile for specific cameras and lens combinations. And even though the X100VI has a fixed lens, the correction is super accurate. It cleans up distortions, fixes any softness around the edges, and gives a crisp look overall. Color grading was also easy. I didn't want to push the files too much, but the DxO Photolab 9 didn't disappoint me at all. The DxO Photolab 9 gave me a natural looking skin tone without needing me to do a lot of edits on the sliders. It's a great software if you want a clean and a straightforward workflow. So overall, editing in Photolab 9 was smooth, fast, and the results looks natural, which I really like for portraits. Shooting portraits with the Fujifilm X100VI was a great experience. Fujifilm's color science is beautiful, so you get great photos not only for portraits but also for landscapes or any photos that you want to take. It's compact, non-intimidating, and it's perfect if you don't want to carry a big setup. And if you're not into editing, the straight out of camera is already fantastic. But keep in mind, it has a fixed 35mm, which can be limiting depending on your style. For me personally, this camera shines for travel, like when I brought it to Japan and Singapore. Most of the photos I took are street photos, not portraits. But after this test, I can say that this photo is very capable if you know how to use it. So who is this camera for? Travel shooters, landscape shooters, and portrait shooters who love film simulations. People who value color and simplicity and want a compact camera that's easy to bring everywhere. So, is the Fujifilm X100VI capable portrait camera? Absolutely, if you understand what it does best. So what do you think of this camera? Share your experience on the comments down below, and as always, peace.